right, let's hit the field.
It is April 6th, and the Yankees were in Pittsburgh, where they were going for the sweep under rainy skies. Aaron Judge trying to stay hot. Will Warren going for his first Major League win. And my recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Well, that sucked. Absolutely sucked. And for a lot of reasons. Not just that we got walked off. For those of you who remember Andrew Heaney as a Yankee, watching this game was, I'm sure, immensely frustrating. When he was with the Yankees, he could not pitch a tent. But today, he went 7 innings and struck out 10, allowed just 1 run and 1 walk. He's got a 1.50 ERA with the Pirates this year. Late 9th inning rally by the Yankees. They tried to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Best they could do is force extra innings, and the win streak has been snapped. However, I did listen to the game with the audio broadcasters today, Dave Sims and Susan Waldman. I told you I was going to do it. I thought it was good. Sims is really good. Less 1940s Broadway musical references, but I can live with that. But tough day for the Yankees, who continue to struggle in extra innings as they have for years now. For years. In case you missed it, and before we get to the recap, the game times for the next few days have changed. On Monday, the game time was supposed to be 6:40. It is now a 3:10 p.m. game. And then Tuesday, Wednesday will both be played at 1:10 p.m. So right during the middle of the workday. I have a meeting on Tuesday, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'm going to try and get out of it this week so that way we can do a post-game recap right after. But we'll be doing post-game shows all 3 games regardless. But this throws my whole schedule off. So we're going to have to change, how we do the voicemails. We're going to do a voicemail show Monday, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. We're going to do one Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. And then we'll do one 10:30 a.m. on Thursday after the series is over. But let's get to this recap. It was a tough one.
Let's get it going.
Isaac Garcia not holding back on Will Warren in the comments. I'm not a big believer in Will Warren. We'll talk about that. Andrew Heaney just had the Yankees number today. I mean, good pitch mix. You kept hoping that he would run out of gas in maybe the 5th inning, 6th inning, and the Yankees would either get to him or they would force the Pirates to use the bullpen, which is not very strong. But he just kept going, and he was very effective again today. Cody Bellinger back in the lineup. That was a positive. He did pick up an infield single in his first at-bat. He was just 1 for 5, hitting .231 now on the season, .627 OPS. Hopefully he gets it going again pretty soon. He looked great in spring training. This is the first time we've really seen him struggle. We have beautiful defense from Anthony Volpe today. Second inning, McCutchen hit an absolute scud missile. It was a one-hopper, took a wicked hop. Volpe snagged it, made a strong, accurate throw to get McCutchen. Really tough day for Will Warren. We'll talk about him more when we get to the pitcher spotlight. But got off to a solid start and then fell apart in the 3rd and 4th innings. 2 runs in each of those innings for the Pirates. Again, I'm not a big believer in Warren. I know a lot of you guys are huge fans because his mechanics are similar to Michael King, and he's been this prospect for a while. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Brent Hedrick did a pretty nice job in the 5th and 6th innings. 2 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts. I thought he was pretty effective. Interesting choice for Austin Wells to bunt in the 9th inning, trying to bunt his way on. Almost had a base hit, but very nice play from K. Brian Hayes. A big walk from Dominguez, and then an RBI double from Peraza in the 9th. And Peraza had a pretty good series. He had a chance to win the game, or at least put the Yankees ahead in extras, and didn't succeed. But he did have another double in this game. He's hitting .364 on the young season. Trent Grisham stayed hot. He had a big game-tying hit. He was 2 for 5 with a couple of ribbies, now hitting .455 with a 1.447 OPS. Yankees could not get the Manfred man in, the ghost runner. I hate calling it the ghost runner because ghosts are invisible. That's why you call it ghost runner. In the backyard when you're playing with ghost runners, it's because you don't have enough people. And so you have an imaginary runner on base. That's invisible. That's why you call it a ghost runner. I could clearly see the human beings that were on second base, so I refuse to call it a ghost runner. I like Manfred Man. That's the closest thing. But the automatic runner, Yankees couldn't get him in. They stranded a ton of runners late in the game, and ultimately they got walked off in the bottom of the 11th. Tough day for the airbender, not bending enough air. Franklin Lopez with the super chat says, Yankees still can't hit lefties or play in the cold. And I know it's just the first month, but Williams isn't looking comfortable with the Yankees. I have to agree that Williams doesn't look comfortable out there. I know that the numbers suggest that he's been excellent the last few years, and maybe he's just one of these guys who's going to go on a hot streak and go 3 months without allowing a base runner. But I don't know. I just don't like his body language. I don't like the way he kicks at the mound. I don't like his facial expressions. Just doesn't look comfortable. I've seen that a lot. And, Franklin obviously recognizes this, so I agree with you 100%. Sam G says, does Jazz always think home run every at-bat? Dude swings at everything. You're not wrong. He did have an RBI double in this game, but as of right now, hitting .237. He is swinging wildly. He had 3 more strikeouts today. You'd like a little bit more contact from Jazz Chisholm. Garrett Pareda says they've got to do away with the Manfred Man. We're not going to see that happen. It speeds up the game. It causes extra innings to not last as long. Pitchers don't get destroyed. You're never going to see it go away. It's here to stay. And the commissioner has, he's dead set on making the games faster. And as long as he's the commish, we're not going to see that go away. I don't hate it. I don't love it. You know what I don't like is that the Yankees suck at it. The Yankees suck at winning extra inning games. Let's talk about Will Warren. Not a good day at all for Mr. Warren. Second time through the order, they were all over him. I thought the sweeper was pretty good early. I thought the fastball was crisp early. He had 2 strikeouts in a row to begin the game. Actually retired the first 8 men that he faced. But for the second start in a row, as soon as he put somebody on base, he started to unravel and have trouble. Against the Diamondbacks, he had a walk and a home run. Today, Brian Reynolds got him with a 2-run double. That's something that's going to have to come along with his development if he wants to be a big league pitcher. You got to pitch out of the stretch. And you've got to get through the order more than one time. It was really the second time through the order. He wasn't fooling anybody. I don't think that his arm angle or just the way that he releases the ball looks natural for him. It looks like he's almost throwing pies sidearm. The angle just doesn't seem right to me for him. And I think that's going to be part of the command issues. Now, he did just have 1 walk, but again, just bad location on a number of pitches that got him hurt in the 3rd and 4th innings. And final line, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Again, he's striking guys out, more strikeouts than innings pitched, but you got to do better than a 6 ERA, which is what he is sporting right now. Tough day at the office for Mr. Will Warren.
It stinks.
Isaac Garcia says, Judge and Martian 0 for 4. I mean, it's baseball. Sometimes that's going to happen. You can't put this game on Judge and the Martian. I mean, this game was on all of the hitters all of the runners that we left on base. This game was on Will Warren. This game was on just collectively as a team, the Yankees not getting it done. Too many guys chasing out of the strike zone. Among them, the Martian, but also Jazz Chisholm. Peraza, I know he had a big double, but he was 1 for 5 and struck out 3 times. He was swinging at everything they threw up there. So, the Miguel Castro show says, damn, how you fail to score with a man on third and 1 out multiple times. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So overall, the Pirates win the final game, but the Yankees win the series 2 out of 3. So let's get to the series takeaways here. Obviously, Max Fried picked up his first win in Game 1. I thought he threw the ball well. I love the way the ball comes out of his arm, just nice and loose. I feel like he's going to have a great season. Volpe, Today, he only had the one hit. He was 1 for 4 with a walk, but he's raised his average to 297 on the young season with a 1.069 OPS. Been swinging the bat well in this series for extra base hits. The Martian, I know he had a tough day today, but he had extra base hits in 4 out of the last 5 games leading up to today. I think he's done a fine job in the outfield, and we'll take a look at everybody's Statcast metrics here in a few minutes. Well, not everybody, but he's among the people we will take a look at. Trent Grisham. I mean, it's hard to say just how well he's performed. Not only with the bat, he's looked great in the outfield. He always looks great in the outfield, incredibly smooth. He played exceptionally from the beginning of spring training, and now we're seeing him get more playing time, and he's doing a nice job, and he keeps hitting. So that's going to mean he keeps getting opportunities. If you can hit, they're going to keep running you out there. Peraza got a bit more playing time in this series. He capitalized on it. Didn't do a lot today, but had a couple of hits in yesterday's game. Had the double today. Had a couple of doubles in the series. That's good to see. I know the Yankees aren't in love with him for whatever reason, and they don't play him as much as a lot of people think they should. But at least he's giving you a versatile utility guy who plays solid defense when he's in there. And if he plays well, he performs well, maybe you can trade him and get something for him because the Yankees have killed his value with the way they've utilized him. And frankly, he hasn't helped himself because he's had a few short stints to do stuff, and he really hasn't performed. The fact that he's hitting now is good. He's hitting at least a little bit. So maybe that'll get him going. Volpe also got robbed of a base hit. Paul Goldschmidt, I think he's looked really good so far. He doesn't have the, MVP aura around him that he had a couple of years ago, but he still comes across as moderately dangerous. He still has good swings. You can see that pitchers are pitching him carefully. He still hits line drives. Hitting .324 with an .866 OPS on the young season. I don't think that's getting enough attention. He's going to be an enormous offensive upgrade over what Anthony Rizzo gave us. And Rizzo had some nice stretches, but he would always fade after, a couple of months. I think Goldschmidt can at least pack together a solid year. He plays 150 games every year. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, I think the Yankees fans are going to love him. As I said, still not buying Will Warren. Just doesn't impress me. I want to see him do it, not in spring training, but in the major leagues against teams that are trying to beat him for a few starts in a row before I start to believe in his stuff plus or whatever. And it's worth noting that, Jazz Chisholm, his power, his production has been insane this year, but he has struck out a lot. 3 more strikeouts today. And it's just something to keep an eye on. I feel like he's definitely doing damage. He's got a 915 OPS. But the way he's kind of wailing and bailing, swinging from his shoes, it's causing a lot of swing and miss. Judge 0 for 4 today, but he's Judge. He'll be fine. This series in Detroit worries me a little bit because the conditions are not going to be good and Detroit has great pitching. So I'm not feeling super confident headed into this series, but, Yanks 6-3 on the season. You'll take that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some Statcast data early on in the season. We're going to start with Anthony Volpe. Now, keep in mind that data can swing wildly, with sample sizes that are, 9 games now. But some of these look pretty good. You see Volpe's batting run value in the 97th percentile. He's obviously still picking the ball up at shortstop in the 83rd percentile. Look at his range. Again, 83rd percentile. The barrel percentage is way up. Squaring the ball up. He's not whiffing as much. Again, these numbers could regress to the mean for him, but so far he's looking good on Statcast. He's never had this much red in his Statcast before. Ben Rice is somebody we really got to talk about. He was out of the lineup today, but hitting .320 on the young season, .433 on base percentage, OPS over 1,000. You look at his Statcast numbers, and they're just bonkers. 98th percentile in batting run value, xWOBA in the 98th percentile, barrel percentage is in the 98th percentile, hard hit percentage is in the 99th percentile, exit velocity average 97.5. and that's in the 98th percentile as well. Squaring up the ball, not chasing. His bat speed is elite. Hitting it on the sweet spot is elite. And his sprint speed, for a guy who's mostly a catcher and first baseman, he's in the top third of the league. 66th percentile. And you look at the spray chart, he's pretty much only hit the ball to right field so far, but massive power for Ben Rice. 6'2", 215, so a big dude. He gets in a crouch and just generates a lot of leverage. Smart kid, too, Dartmouth. Look at Austin Wells. He is in the 74th percentile of batting run value, 94th percentile of fielding run value. The bat speed, obviously, also top 18% of the league. Strikeout percentage is good. Walk percentage is good. Framing is where he's at his best, 100th percentile, and blocks above average, 96th percentile. The framing thing is going to go away mostly next year with ABS. You won't be able to steal as many strikes throughout the course of the game. You'll still steal some because you're not going to have unlimited challenges. But it's coming, for sure. The Martian. Batting run value in the 63rd percentile. Base running value in the 72nd percentile, so well above average. You look at the bat speed in the top 18% of the league as well. Walk percentage is about league average. Arm is looking good, and sprint speed looking good. They've got his range as not too good in the 9th percentile. We knew that. Fielding run value in the 9th percentile. Hopefully over time he gets better. Aaron Boone was saying yesterday that he thinks that Dominguez is not going to be a good outfielder, but a outstanding outfielder. Barrel percentage is up. Hard hit percentage is good. Chase percentage and whiff percentage, not what you want. Rookie, growing pains. He's got a regular small strike zone, so I think he can cut down on his strikeouts. Paul Goldschmidt, somebody that I think is not getting enough attention. Hitting .323, but 78th percentile of batting run value. His xWOBA is in the 97th percentile. Batting average expected in the 99th percentile. He's hitting the ball hard. Almost a 90-mile-an-hour exit velocity. Sweet spot is in the 88th percentile, so he's connecting on the right part of the bat. Whiff percentage is still solid in the 80th percentile. Now, they don't have him as a great defender. They're pretty tough on first baseman. Most metrics are tough on first baseman anyway. But he's in there for his bat. And he's won some gold gloves, so I think he'll make the routine plays. And Aaron Judge. Batting run value, 100th percentile. Obviously, he's at the top of the league in xWOBA, expected batting average, expected slugging, exit velocity, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, sweet spot, bat speed. I mean, you name it, chase percentage. And back to being an above average defender. They show him in the 51st percentile of run value, but in range, he's in the 66th percentile. Obviously played center field last year and in the last couple of years. So Judge, still metrically the king of Major League Baseball. All right, let's take some comments, some questions. Jero says, Williams can't close. He should be set up for Weaver. I think it's way too early to say that.
Just a bit outside.
He's only had a couple of opportunities, and we know that most guys have an adjustment period to New York. We know that. Dee's channel says, Yanks are in for a tough matchup against both Skubal and Flaherty. It may be our first series loss of the year. I seem to recall them losing 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. So it would not be our first loss. It would be our second. Michael R. says, Arenado off to a .333 start. Yanks still aren't going to make that deal because they don't want to take on the money. They don't want to block George Lombard, who is kind of gearing up to be the Yankees' next great infielder. And he could shift over to third base where his arm will play. Could also move to second, but I think they're stuck with Jazz for a while. They've got him for another year under. Stuck with Jazz is the wrong way to say that. Committed to Jazz for a while. They've got him for one more year after this of arbitration eligibility. They're not going to move him. I think they might sign him to an extension. So, anyway, the save situation says IKF handed us the win. We really should have won that game. We should have won all 3 games. We should have won 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. Got a couple calls here.
So, what do you think about the Yankees? Do you think they can last the whole year the way they are right now? Like last year, it was the same story. They were hot to start, and then they cooled down, and then they kind of got back up in like the Phillies Red Sox series back in July. So, do you think the Yankees can continue doing this the whole season long, or are they going to have that huge slump they have?
Now, to be fair, this call came in before they blew the game late. So I do think that they're going to be a solid team. I think they're going to be a 90 to 92 win team, which is just slightly behind the pace of last year, but only because of the pitching. I think the offense actually could be better than it was last year, especially given this, torpedo bat thing that seems to have unlocked Anthony Volpe, unlocked even more power for Jazz Chisholm. We've seen some really positive signs from Dominguez, from Goldschmidt. Bellinger, I think, will come around. He's had some good swings. He's slumping a little bit right now, and Wells hasn't done a lot yet. Not everybody's going to be hot at the same time. Looks like Judge could be having another one of those years. So the offense, I think, is going to be good. I think it's a AL East championship caliber team. The question is, will they get enough pitching? That's always the question, and it will be the question again this year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do another voicemail show tomorrow. Should we have enough voicemails? That'll be 10:30 in the morning. So call in with your thoughts on the series and, the thoughts on the upcoming Tigers series and so forth. And again, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff helps the channel immensely. And I'll see you next time. Yankees, drop a tough one. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.